Joining us now, Andrij Dobriansky, Director of Communications and Media for the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America. There's a lot of different kind of chess pieces moving here, and a war of words that is also starting to happen. At the heart of it, what we don't want to get lost is the fact that peace is the shared goal, right? No more death in Ukraine. What do you make first of President Trump's comments specific to Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky?
Thank you. And thank you, Marnie, for having me on. Thank you for reminding everybody what happened on February 24th, 2022. I would just add that justice is the final goal. Peace is never maintained without a final justice. So that's something that's going to have to be worked out with international courts, with the prosecution of every single officer that enabled this invasion, and also international sanctions to be prolonged so long as the Russian regime is in place. But as far as what we've heard over the last 24 hours, chess pieces is a great analogy for people to understand here. We have the after effects, obviously, that you showed in United States elected officials. They have been hit with such a hard 180 degrees, not least of which Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who has a long record of what he said about the Russian regime, which has been in place since 2000. So that is truly a dictatorship. But in terms of what the senators have to deal with, they now have to be possibly running for re-election in direct contrast with a lot of the lines that they've been using over the last couple of years, many of which, including Marco Rubio, have been signing letters to Democratic presidents saying we need to increase aid for Ukraine. So we have that dissonance. We also have the rest of the world that is in a deep state of confusion about what to do next. There are a lot of non-aligned countries we don't have formal treaties with or alliances with, and they make up the majority of the world. And they are not seeing the United States as a reliable partner now. And there is one big country out there with billions of dollars willing to invest, and they can speak a game of being reliable, and that's China. So we have a lot of chess pieces in place, and I'm really glad that you showed what happened on February 24th, 2022, because on the evening of February 23rd, there was a Security Council meeting at the United Nations, during which the attack started, and Russia kept saying they had no idea what you're talking about. And this year, on Monday, February 24th, there will be another Security Council meeting. We will be listening to the new permanent representative from the United States on the United States position on that anniversary. And possibly even more importantly, there will be a General Assembly meeting following that, and we will see how the rest of the world is responding to the United States being less and less of a reliable international partner.
Well, I think, Andrij, it's also probably important to just take a look at the overall landscape of the battlefield. I mean, 3 years ago, Russia began invading. We saw the tanks to the north, but to the east, territory was being claimed, and there were bloody battles over portions of eastern Ukraine. Where and how much territory has Russia claimed in the last 3 years, particularly in eastern Ukraine?
They've added about double of what they occupied in 2014, when, again, another administration by the United States was pushing for a reset with Russia, pushing for not sending weapons to Ukraine, and pushing for not having Ukraine fight back, which is why we had so many battles back then, where Ukraine literally had soldiers lay down their arms and pull back in the name of a ceasefire. That was the Obama administration, and shockingly, the Trump plan seems to be stealing the Obama playbook and repeating it. A reset with Russia, pulling out of Ukraine, because in his words, that is not a place that the United States should have anything going forward. That is exactly what Obama explained, that Russia will always have a bigger interest in Ukraine than the United States. And then lastly, the fact that there's so much supply of Ukrainian weapons. Ukraine has been fighting on behalf of global democracy, on behalf of Europe's security for the last 3 years, and 10 years if you include the entire war. That you see a pullback from here. This is exactly the Obama playbook, which is why it's so shocking yes, it's predictable that Donald Trump would say the words that we heard over the last week, last 24 hours specifically. But it's the more shocking thing is that he's basically taking the playbook from another administration that he basically started his career on defying.
Well, it's going to be an important few meetings this week. Andrij, as always, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.